So I did a presentation the other day to a brokerage, and I talked about one of the great things you can do in December, which I love for this time of year, to engage your past clients and sphere, especially your raving fans, like your top 10, maybe 20 people, is send them a video text. Video texts are outstanding. They're short, keep them 15 to 18 seconds. That way they can open it up right in the app on their phone. It doesn't take them to YouTube or have to convert it to another type of file. But video texts are great. Don't talk about real estate. Right, just send them something saying you were thinking about them. Hey, just wanted to check in, just thinking about you guys. Hope you have a great December and a Merry Christmas. Something that simple. I promise you, you'll get almost 100%. I get 100% response rate from those types of texts. Video texts. They're simple and easy, and they're a great way to get a hold of people. So here's an interesting story. Jim Rohn, my mentor, used to talk about his mentor, Earl Shoaff, told him about a book called The Richest Man in Babylon. It's a great little book. It's a parable. It's only 120 pages long, but it talks about investing, basically. The whole idea of the book is investing. And he used to talk about it all the time. So Jim says, I've talked about it. And Jim Rohn, if you don't know who he was, he died back in 2009, but he was very famous back in the 80s and 90s as a seminar leader, sales trainer, and really a personal development guru. And one of my favorite speakers and my mentor. I worked for Jim back in the late 1990s. I memorized all of his stuff. I love Jim Rohn. And he says, Rick, I've talked about that book at almost every single talk I've ever done. And he did like in front of 2 million people over his 40-year career as a personal development speaker. So all around the world. He's mentioned that book to lots of people. The Richest Man in Babylon. He says, Rick, how many people do you think actually went out and got the book? We don't know, right? Because we don't know statistically how many people did. But he says, my best guess is not very many, less than 10%. He says, guess when I got the book? So Mr. Shoaff told Jim Rohn about it. He says, guess when I got the book? The same day I heard about it. He's like, does that make me different than everybody else? Or does that make me somehow more successful and ever better than everybody else? Yes. Yes, it does. It means I heard something and I went out and I took action and I did it. So I was in front of a brokerage the other day and I taught everybody how to do a video text. So I showed them, I literally pulled out my phone, did a video text, sent it to a person in the audience right there. Well, the next day, one of the agents, the most successful top producer, sent me a video text. It's interesting, right? I told him, you guys need to do this. And you don't have to send it to me, but send it to your sphere, send it to your people. Well, the person who sells like 300 homes a year sent me a video text the next day. Does that make him different? Does that make him, stand out from all the other agents? The answer is yes, it does. People that sell a lot of real estate take action. It's not hard. I can show you how to do a video text. It takes 20 seconds to pull up your phone and do it, right? It's not a difficult task. Another thing, so when I started my Real Estate Super Achievers coaching group a few months ago, my marketing person sent to about 9,000 people in my database an email talking about the group, what we were going to be doing, what it was all about, and we're going to focus on lead generation, right? 9,000 people. And I got like a handful of responses, and one person in particular reached out to me and called me. One person. We talked, and we'd never met before. We ended up doing a Zoom call together. I ended up doing a coaching Zoom for her, because she's also a coach, and I ended up going to Coeur d'Alene, Idaho yesterday, doing a presentation for 125 agents. She set that up. Well, she was just one of the people on my email list that reached out to me. How many of the other 9,000 reached out to me? Less than 10. So it's like taking action, people. That is really what I'm talking about. You have to think, you have to plan, and you have to strategize. But you also have to take action. People that just take action all the time and never think and plan and strategize, they're wasting a lot of efforts because they're probably not taking the right action. On the other hand, people that strategize and plan and think all the time and don't ever take action, or very rarely, they're not going to be successful either. You have to have that combination. So think that through. I want you to think about, what are you doing? Are you planning a lot? Are you thinking a lot? Are you strategizing a lot? Or are you acting a lot? You need to do both. One of my very first business mentors told me this, Rick. He said, Rick, I hear people are making a lot of money on writing books. He goes, I'm going to write a book. I'm like, great. He goes, it's going to be about that thick. I said, okay. He goes, all the pages are going to be blank. I said, all right. He goes, except for somewhere in the middle, nestled in the middle of the book somewhere, is going to be 5 words. I said, what are they going to be? He says, get up off your, and you can probably guess what the last word was, right? And we both laughed. He's like, isn't that true though? I said, yeah, that is true. Take action. The people that sell a lot of real estate, it's no coincidence, they're the ones that actually follow through and take the actions.